The story begins by showing a pregnant woman named Liang, who has just lost her husband, a police officer, to death. She is seen grieving deeply, but her sorrow is suddenly interrupted by the arrival of a group of gangsters. Without hesitation, they declare their desire to become the father of her unborn child. Hearing this, the woman responds in an unexpected way. As a result of the incident, the gang leader ultimately died, while Liang was sentenced to 30 years in prison. A few months later, a ruthless inmate named Kim, who had several followers in the prison, began mistreating other prisoners. Disapproving of his actions, Liang immediately taught them a lesson. God. Since his subordinates were unreliable, Kim was forced to confront Liang himself. However, his efforts meant nothing to Liang, and instead led to unexpected consequences for him.
爽啊，30几岁的人了，还没个正形。
Soon after, the prison guards arrived and immediately secured both of them. At the same time, Liang's water broke, signaling that it was time for her to give birth. Realizing this, Kim's sense of humanity emerged, prompting him to rebel against the guards in an attempt to help with the delivery. 30 years later, the story focuses on a massage therapist named Gui. While attending to a client, he is suddenly attacked by a group of thugs who are determined to kill the man. No one knows who this client really is, but Gui, who turns out to be highly skilled in martial arts, immediately takes on the attackers by himself. The client, a gangster boss named Tao, was impressed by Gui's skills. He immediately rewarded him with a large sum of money for his actions and invited him to his residence the next day. Indirectly, this was his way of trying to recruit Gui into his gang.
都是你的了，明天来家里吃饭。
多谢老板。
谢什么老板？焦大哥。
Seeing Gui's impressive skills, the client, who turned out to be a gangster boss, personally invited him to join his group. Upon arriving at the boss's residence, Gui was warmly welcomed with a lavish feast. Despite not knowing each other well, Tao quickly placed his trust in Gui, assigning him the task of dealing with an enemy who had taken over his territory. Determined not to disappoint his new boss, Gui immediately led Tao's men to carry out his first mission. Not wanting his men to get hurt, Gui challenged his enemy to a fair one-on-one duel. He deliberately chose a cramped phone booth as their battleground, ensuring a brutal and intense fight. After winning the duel, the enemy's subordinates chose to join Gui's group. From that day on, Gui's reputation grew, and Tao even commemorated the moment with a photo together. However, his glory quickly faded when an enemy attacked him by splashing acid into his eyes, leaving him permanently blind.
怎么样？我们已经尽力了，可能他的眼睛再也看不见了。你胡说！
1 month later, despite being blind, Gui still attended an important meeting. During the gathering, the gang's elder revealed that the person who had killed Tao's father, none other than Liang, was set to be released from prison that day. The elder then ordered his men to eliminate Liang within a month to uphold the honor and dignity of their group.
如果1个月后他还活着，恐怕我也保不住你。
And now, Liang had finally been released from prison, just as the gang elder had foretold. Deciding to go straight home, she was unexpectedly greeted by Yuli, who had been staying at her residence. During Liang's time away, Yuli had continued running her traditional massage business.
拜拜 来了，王哥，常来呀。
好嘞。
Finishing with the client, Yuli informed Liang about her son's condition. It turned out that due to a lack of exposure to sunlight while in the womb, the child had developed vision problems. This news brought back memories of her time with her son, whom she had named Lingpei. Liang recalled that she only had 1 year with him before he was placed in an orphanage. To comfort her, Yuli also shared that Lingpei had been adopted by a kind couple. Despite being frequently bullied at school, he always fought back, just like his mother.
你别太自责了，谁也不想这样啊，是不是？
However, as he grew older, he cut ties with his adoptive parents, and his whereabouts remained unknown.
这种事情你急不得，你越急他越没有眉目，你要从容一点。快去休息，把身体养好，从容一点。
Later that night, as Yuli was closing the clinic, several of Tao's men barged in and brutally beat her, mistaking her for Liang. Realizing their error, they were suddenly interrupted by the sound of intense music from upstairs. And then, Liang appeared. With swift and precise movements, she took down the gangsters with ease, even breaking the leg of Tao's right-hand man, Sony, while showcasing a deadly technique known as raven boarding a plane. Outside, Gui waited but was urged to hide by his comrade Samsul, who knew they stood no chance against her. Meanwhile, Sony managed to escape and immediately reported his failure to Tao. Just as Liang made her chilling declaration, she would eliminate them all.
开车！你要马上回国，立刻马上！